Hello everybody, Jim here, coming to you once again from my cozy little apartment here in Tokyo today, because for a change I'm actually not recording one of these at night. I'm recording it in the middle of the day because I had a day off today, and so I'm not drinking beer. I haven't started quite yet, but I am relaxing with a little bit of coffee, some Daido blend, so pretty good stuff, of course, directly from the vending machine, so you know it's fresh, so clean, so delicious. Anyway, I wanted to talk with you all a little bit tonight about something that I had no interest in making a video about, because this is, first and foremost a gaming channel. And then secondary, it's more of a Japan vlog kind of channel. But as it is such a big issue, and because a number of people have expressed concerns in the comment sections on this channel, telling me to stay safe, and how's it going over there, and is the coronavirus causing a lot of problems, and things like that. And in particular, I got a message on Facebook from a viewer of the channel, guy by the name of Mike, and he requested specifically that I talk about this, and Mike's a good guy, a loyal viewer, and U.S. Marine, so how could I say no? So I want to talk a little bit about at least my perception of how things are going on here in Tokyo amid this whole coronavirus pandemic thing, because it's something that's affecting a lot of countries and to varying degrees, and the reaction in those countries it varies from country to country. I've seen a number of videos on YouTube and elsewhere, and on Twitter, because people are always sharing this stuff, of people brawling over toilet paper and bottled water and things. Luckily, I haven't seen any of that here as of yet. I will say that toilet paper did get bought up pretty quickly. It's just I don't think anybody broke out the brass knucks over it. I'm lucky, I live alone at the moment, so I don't exactly need like a mountain of toilet paper. My ass isn't that big, so I think I'm doing okay with what I have now. But as it stands right now, all of the schools in the country closed, all of the public schools, for the month of March, which I was a little concerned about, because I am a teacher, but I work for a private company. It's not a government-run school or anything, so they had the option to either close or stay open. And since we're a smaller operation, and classes are no larger than 6 kids, but typically there's like 3 or 4 per class, and then we do like private lessons with individual kids or teens or adults. So I think my youngest students are like 5 years old, and my oldest students are like in their 50s. So we teach a wide range of people, but it's not like a public school classroom setting where there's like 30 kids all piled in there together, and the diseases go flying like crazy. So all of the schools were shut down, but my place of work remained open. So lucky for me, I still get to remain gainfully employed in the middle of all this. But it's certainly how we work has changed after every class. We're disinfecting and wiping down the tables and everything, and the chairs. And there's hand sanitizer all over the building, and things like that. And all of the kids, or at least most of the kids, they're all wearing surgical masks. The parents come in, they're wearing the masks as well. So there is a lot of caution. The thing is, though, and I mean, a lot of people have commented on this in videos I have shot walking around the city. Always asking, like, why do people wear those surgical masks all the time? because either they are trying to not get sick, or they are sick and they were trying not to spread it around so much. So I mean, by virtue of like a significant portion of the Japanese population already having like surgical masks on hand, it's not that uncommon to see so many surgical masks out and about. So that's kind of typical. But what isn't typical though is that I guess a lot of companies were encouraged to, as much as possible, let their employees work from home, because most businesses are still open and running, just fine. Hours as normal. It's not like, I know there are a lot of there are certain cities in the U.S., for example, where almost everything is shutting down, and they're considering maybe even imposing some sort of mandatory quarantine in specific cities where everybody stays home. And there even I've seen talk of like government potentially paying citizens however much money in this time of crisis, because people are going to need to stay home. But a lot of, and this is something I've learned from talking with some of my adult students, because a lot of them, they work in the business world, and that's why they study English, is because English is commonly spoken during international business transactions. And according to them, there's a lot of telecommunicating, working from home, whatever. Like any communications that need to be done are either being done through, like group calls or emails and things like that. So there's a lot of work being done from home. And in particular, a lot of elderly, a lot of retired people, they're just staying home because this apparently affects them the most. And a side effect of this is that areas that usually would be crowded and packed with people are not so crowded anymore. It's not so hard to get around. And I guess I kind of selfishly was a little happy about that, because I commute to work most days, and the commute can be a bit of a pain in the ass depending on how many people are on the train at any one given time or in the station, because I have to go through Shinjuku Station, and it's the busiest station in the world as far as I know, so it's always packed with people. Even when I go to work on Saturdays, like early in the morning Saturday, I'm going to get on the train, and it's already full of people. And it's just on top of like waking up on a Saturday to go into work, it's just an extra helping of a pain in the ass that you have to get crammed into a train and navigate through all these people. Now though, walking through Shinjuku Station is not nearly as many people. I would say it's like maybe 20% as many as it would normally be. Every train ride I can have a sit down. It's nice and comfy. Do love to have a nice sit for my commute on the train. And then I went to Akihabara to shoot the videos at the Container, the Konami pop-up shop thing. And Akihabara was pretty damn empty. Like, shooting that video was so easily. Usually shooting in shops and stuff takes a little while, because there's a lot of people in the store, and I don't want to like invade anybody's privacy. So if there's something I want a shot of and someone else is looking at it, I'll just wait for them to be done, looking at it. And sometimes, it takes a little while because lots of people are here and there and everything. This video though was shot like so quickly because there was nobody in there, because the town itself was almost totally deserted. And so, it was easier to get around. And, so that I'm again selfishly a little pleased by that. It's not so crowded in certain places, not so difficult to get around. But again, that's people being cautious, which is the smart thing to do. I've mentioned that I'm considering starting to do live streams on this channel, where I have some pocket Wi-Fi and some other gear, and I just go do live game hunting, live exploring of Tokyo and other areas. And a lot of people said, that sounds pretty good, but just be careful, if you're going to get out there in those crowds of people and everything. So, I mean, I'm being considerate of that. Generally speaking, as of right now, unless there's something I really want to go out and film, if I'm not at work, I'm at home. And when I'm at home, I'm usually either playing games or working on YouTube videos. So I spent over 7 years working in hospitals as a health services tech, And I'm well aware of, staying, hygienic, staying sterilized, wash your hands and all that kinds of stuff. I already have those good habits, just, as a remnants of those years that I worked in hospitals and things. So I'm not, too concerned. Some people are skeptical of the numbers that the Japanese government is reporting as it relates to how many people have contracted the virus here versus, how many people have died, because they don't want to affect too badly, maybe corporate interests, or in particular the Olympics. Whether or not the Olympics would be canceled, that would be a really big blow to the economy of Tokyo, which, since I'm on the subject, I wasn't terribly looking forward to that anyway. I know it's awesome for Tokyo to host the Olympics, and it's going to be great for all these businesses and everything, but that's going to be a shit ton of people coming to visit a city that is already extremely densely populated. And so, just from a comfort level, I wasn't really looking forward to it. But if this whole virus stuff persists into the summer, you don't want to take a place that's already densely populated and fill it with more people in times of a pandemic. That's not a good idea. But yeah, as of right now, I don't see so much panic and fear as I go out there and interact with the world. I don't see people fist fighting and dropping each other with, DDTs and drop kicks and stuff over toilet paper and bottled water. But what I do see is just a lot of people staying home, working from home, or just, being extra cautious, wearing their masks, staying extra clean. Just last night, when I get home from work, there is a Gusto near my apartment, which, if you don't know what a Gusto is, it's like a diner, or a family restaurant. And when you walk into the Gusto, and plenty of other businesses too, particularly restaurants and cafes and stuff, as you walk in, right there next to the entrance is a bottle of hand sanitizer and a sign that says, upon entering the establishment, please sanitize your hands. And so there's, this complimentary hand sanitizer there and stuff. So I see people being extra cautious, people trying to be extra hygienic and sterile. I see a lot of people staying home, which is freeing up some of the congestion on my way to work. So all of those things, those are all good practices while this is going on. So, Tokyo, it's not a madhouse, it's not a war zone. People aren't dropping like flies from the virus or anything. Most people are choosing to, distance themselves from other people as much as possible. And those that aren't, those that are still going out and, doing their daily business, running errands, going to work, doing some shopping, whatever they got to do. It doesn't seem like people are too concerned about this. There's concern, obviously, there's caution, but it's not to the levels of panic that I've seen taking place in some other parts of the world. So that's kind of how I feel about it. That's my take on the situation right now. As for whether or not the government is accurately reporting, numbers of virus patients and things like that, I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that. Just because speculation, it doesn't mean much without evidence. And so I'm not going to speculate on those kinds of things. But what I will say is, it doesn't seem to be quite the apocalyptic scenario here that it kind of looks like in some other places. So I feel pretty safe where I am, and I'm pretty happy that I'm in Tokyo right now, and not in New York City or down in Texas where I used to live, or in some of the other places that are much more gravely affected by this virus than Japan has been. China and Italy and places like that. So I'm feeling pretty okay about this right now. And if anybody wants to drop anything in the comments, how are things where you are? Let me know. Also, it's just a bummer because a number of people that I know here on YouTube and other places, even some patrons and stuff, people I've met in the past and had beers with, that were planning trips out here Some of you guys know who you are, Blake, Edwin. I think even Destiny was talking about coming back again real quick. All of that is, it's canceled. People are canceling flights and things like that. And yeah, that sucks. The limitation of being able to travel. The whole thing is it's a shitty situation. Yeah, not cool. But yeah, again, I'm happy I am where I am, and staying safe, staying clean, and hoping that it stays the atmosphere stays the way it is right now, with people being cautious but being rationally cautious, not panicking. Let's hope it stays that way. And hope it stays that way for all of you too. I hope you stay safe and stay healthy. And hopefully, we all get through this just fine. And that would be the best case scenario for all of us, I think. So thanks everybody for listening. For everyone who asked, how things are going here and if I was okay. Hey, thanks for asking. That means a lot. And let me know down in the comments how you all are dealing with this. And thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed listening as much as I enjoy talking to you. So I will see you next time, everybody. Take care. Goodbye.